one. I'm glad you took the time to actually view this video. I'm starting a YouTube video series called The Mind of Little Rage, and I want to take just a little bit of time to introduce myself, give a little background, so a little more familiar with me and have an idea of where I stand on certain issues. Just a normal guy. I work 5 to 6 days a week. I work long hours. It's very much physical labor. I don't make great money, but I have food in my cabinets, in my refrigerator. I have a bed to sleep in. I have a roof over my head, and I have air conditioning, as you can see right there. So that's a good thing. As normal as I say I am, I do have some unresolved anger issues, especially when it comes to the events that are happening both locally, state, and in our country. I'm a native Texan. I'm in my mid-40s. I am basically obsessed with music, and I can go from the absolutely drop-dead gorgeous Adele to Norwegian black metal with the drop of a hat. My two favorite bands are Sevendust and the criminally underrated King's X. I think 95% of current pop music sucks. It's crap, to put it somewhat nicely. I'm a fan of heavy metal. That's probably my go-to genre of music in most of its forms within the heavy metal genre. I do like a lot of country music, especially what we would call old school, George Jones, George Strait, Johnny Cash. I would say, 60s, 70s, and 80s, some of the 90s, a lot of the new country it's not country anymore. Every once in a while, I'll catch one that's new that I think is pretty good. But I love funk music. I'm a big fan of a bass player just laying down a funky, tight groove, some old school soul, blues. Of course, that's the foundation for just about every music genre except maybe jazz, and this shitty electronic dance music that's out. I'm not talking about yours, Bubba. Yours is different. But, and there are some pop songs that I do like. And yes, I do have notes because this is the first time I'm doing really something like this. So, pardon the page turning. I am a Christian by choice. I feel that even though I am a Christian, I feel that the organized religion that we have currently in the United States and possibly even outside of the United States is actually causing a rift with those who profess to be Christian. To me, Christianity is a faith and not a religion. Religion, as I see it, is a man-made idea. Faith is not. Faith is something you feel. And I feel that as a Christian that God is the creator of all things, and He sent Christ to die on the cross for all of man's sins. I am a veteran of the United States Air Force. Spent 15 years in the Air Force. It was it was an honor and privilege to do that. I walked away with 2 associate's degrees, one physical therapy assistant, and I also received a degree for military instructor of science and education, or instructor of military science and education. Let me get that right. I swear like a sailor. I have a potty mouth, and I'm damn proud of it. It's who I am. I'm not going to try to hide it in these videos, so just a warning that some of these videos, the language may get very, very coarse. It is not meant to offend anyone. And by the way, being offended is a choice. Also, that I'm a libertarian. I am a conservative-leaning libertarian, but at the same time, there are some things that maybe the liberal or the left side embrace that I don't necessarily disagree with. I am very pro Second Amendment. I believe that every American of age and who qualifies and doesn't have a criminal record or mental illness or anything like that should have the right to keep and bear arms. We'll get into that in future episodes. I believe that as citizens of the United States, each individual person is sovereign and they can make their own decisions about how they live their life. With that being said, I don't think that the government needs to be entrenched in our daily lives, how we conduct ourselves, and the choices that we make in our daily lives. The government was set up to protect us, not keep us from living a fruitful, healthy, and pleasurable life. I believe that the news media are the master bullshit artists of today, and I also love discussing current events and politics with people of different ideologies and different beliefs, different faiths, or lack of a better term, religion, or lack of religion if you're atheist or what have you like that. I'm not a big fan of big groups of people. I'm going to paraphrase a line from Men in Black. One person is smart, but a group of people just tend to become animalistic and they become dumb. And one of the things that I cannot stand that will really get my ire up is blatant, purposeful stupidity. I deal with it on a daily basis at work. I see it on a daily basis at work. So the reason that I'm calling myself Little Rage is because my coworkers have dubbed me Little Rage. I'm the shortest guy that works in the area that I work in, but I have rage. They can see it. I don't deal with it very well. I cuss and I call things stupid because I call them as I see them, and I don't make any apologies for it. I am who I am. But the reason I'm doing this is to hopefully have a more constructive way of getting some of this anger out and keeping an open mind as to the views and ideas of other people that are around me and inhabit this wonderful country that we call the United States. So with that said, that background there, you know just a little bit about me, and you'll learn more about me as this video series goes along. But what I really wanted to talk to you about today was the very first episode that I have decided to do is over a somewhat hot button issue that seems to come in and out of the news quite often, and that would be the legalization of marijuana. Now, what I've done so far in preparation for this inaugural episode was I came up with 13 pros, 13 cons for the legalization on a federal level of cannabis. And to just kind of put it out there, be transparent about everything, I am pro legalization. But for the sake of conversation and for the sake of the first episode, I'm going to try my damnedest to be as neutral as possible on it and hear every aspect that is raised, and look at each pro, look at each con in an objective and transparent way. So, I need your help though. What I'd like to do is give you the 13 pros and the 13 cons, and have you, the viewer, email me your thoughts and opinions, concerns on the possible federal legalization of marijuana, to include hemp as well. So what I'll do is I'll give you 13 cons followed by the 13 pros, and you feel free to just let your thoughts flow and put them in an email and send it to me. I will have the email at the end of this video, so you'll be able to reference it and just send it to me. And that way I can have a much better inaugural episode. So the first thing I'm going to go over is the cons of legalization of marijuana. I'll just read them out aloud, present them, and then after that I'll go into the pros. Number one con is it creates more cost per taxpayer than the potential revenue that regulated and taxed marijuana would make. Number two, it would increase teen use and abuse. Number three, increased traffic accidents. Number four, increased addiction with legalization. Number five, there would be an increased benefit to organized crime with legalization. Number six, medical costs would skyrocket due to medical emergencies associated with use of marijuana. Number seven, increased mental health issues. Number eight, and this was one that kind of already knew, kind of already had in the back of my head, was big marijuana, much like big tobacco or big alcohol, targeting children. Number nine, lost productivity and increased accidents at work due to marijuana use. Number 10, the United Nations apparently has a treaty with the United States that would prohibit the United States from taking the federal statutes on marijuana use off the table. That we can't, as a country, as a federal government, cannot make marijuana legal. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that, and if you know something that I don't know, please share it with me. Number 11, opposed by major health organizations. Now, that one's kind of, I can already saw that one coming, and I think, sorry, I said I'd be transparent and neutral, but it goes along with Big Pharma. Number 12, that cultivating marijuana would actually harm the environment. And the last one for the cons would be health concerns for not just the users, but for the non-users, much like secondhand smoke has been proven to affect non-smokers. So there's your cons. Now for the pros, I have 13 of these as well. Number one, an economic boost, not only at the state level, but if it's done at the federal level, all states could potentially reap the benefits of this. Number two would be job creation. Number three, there's an argument that there would be less strain on police resources, which because of lowered street crime. Makes a lot of sense. Number four, impact on the drug cartels. Number five, less harmful than alcohol. There's studies out there that say that that's true. We'll look at both sides of the issue. Number six, and this one's very personal to me, personal freedom. Again, as I said earlier, I do not want the government entrenched in my everyday life. So if you're of the same mindset that I am, that if I want to come home and light up a dude and not have to worry about, the police coming and knocking in my door because I'm smoking a J, then whatever. Number seven, less addictive than alcohol and tobacco. Number eight, it phases out the black market, which kind of goes hand in hand with the drug cartels. But usually when we think drug cartels, we're thinking the drug cartels that are in northern Mexico, in the southern states of the U.S. So, black market, we're looking at things that are possibly overseas and bringing marijuana from other countries into the U.S. The race disparagement that is associated with arrests that are cannabis related. My personal opinion is that it's kind of blown up a little bit in the media because I don't believe a damn word they say. I could be wrong, but this is why I'm doing this, so all of us can learn something. Number 10, taxes collected could benefit public programs at the city, state, county, and federal levels. Number 12, decreased teen use. I'm not 100% sure on that one. And the last one for the pros is legal cannabis would be regulated by the federal government. Again, I don't want the federal government in my life any more than is absolutely necessary. However, there's got to be some kind of regulation on this, just like there's regulation on alcohol, there's regulation on tobacco. I'm sure that if it's taxed and regulated at the federal level, they will tax the dog shit out of it and make it almost impossible for most people to get marijuana. But I could be wrong. That's why we're having this discussion, this future discussion. So, again, I ask for your help. Send me your comments, concerns. It's only going to make the show better. It's not just about me and my anger towards stupid shit that goes on a daily basis because of the current environment that we find ourselves in this wonderful country called America. So I just want to thank you in advance, and hopefully we'll gain some momentum, we'll get some viewership, we'll get our numbers up. I'm not doing this for any kind of revenue. I'm not doing this for sponsorship. This is just me trying to do my part as an American citizen and as a member of this world. Let's make this place better for everyone involved, everyone that steps foot here. So thank you. The email is going to be at the end of the video in the credit section, and I hope to hear from y'all soon. Take care. Talk to you soon.